Happy Monday. So last week I talked about the way that I got through one of the most challenging times of my adult life was to get a little better every day and set that intention to get a little better every single day. Well, that's great, but what does that actually look like? So today I just wanted to offer you one example of that. And this is a very powerful exercise. So this is going to be your PM Mindset Challenge of the week, which is to quiet the critic. And the critic that I'm talking about is yourself. So when we wake up and we're having one of those days where it's like, I'm not good enough, or it's not going to be enough, or you're feeling not enough, the very best thing that you can do for yourself is to pause, take stock of how you're feeling. Because what happens if we just push forward and plow through our day with that I am not enough, or I'm not whatever it is, whatever that negative feeling that you wake up, or you're a victim of somebody else, whatever that feeling that is not a good feeling, if we just plow forward and we don't acknowledge it, we just get more of that. So, and then we spread it. That negativity spreads very quickly. So as we become victimized by somebody else, or we determine that we're not good enough, that just spreads and our day goes downhill real fast. So the challenge here is to just take stock of how you're doing. You wake up, you're having one of those days. We've talked about this before too, where it's just like, the drive to work was terrible. Somebody pulled in front of you, and your kids were crazy and they weren't good, they weren't listening well that morning, or whatever. All those things that just bring you down, and you get to work and you're already depleted, right? So the way that we're going to quiet that critic was, first we're going to take stock and hear, what is that critic telling you? What are you telling yourself that is causing that negative feeling? What are you telling yourself? Acknowledge it. Determine whether that's a true statement or not. It's not. Also, then take a deep breath, and I want you to just literally inventory 10 things that you are good at, 10 strengths that you have, 10 talents, whatever it is, and it doesn't matter in which realm of your life. If you're a good caregiver, you're a good caregiver in all realms of your life, or you can be. So sit down and just quickly inventory 1 through 10. Most of the time I'm a good parent or I'm a good caregiver to my elderly parents, or something like that, right? So if you are a good caregiver, how can that go? How can you turn that around, and how can you explore that in your professional life? How can you be a good caregiver to a team member? How can you lend them an ear if they're having a tough day? So the idea here is you are literally taking inventory, and 10 is awesome. We've talked about just focusing on the one, that's great. But literally when we wake up and we're having when our critic is super loud, it can be very helpful to acknowledge it. You can't just rush past it. It won't go away. So acknowledge it, determine, ask yourself, is that true? And then likely it's not. And then inventory 10 things. After you get done inventorying those 10 things, I want you to actually go through, take a look at your list, and pick out 1 or 2 that are going to be your intention or your focus for that day. That's going to get you out of that suck. That's going to get you a little better today. Because we all wake up with those days where our inner critic is so loud. So this is the way that you can flip the switch and determine that you are not going to plow through and spread that negativity. You are going to reset, and you're going to set a positive intention to get you through that day. That's going to make you a little better, and it's going to make everyone around you a little happier as well. I hope that works for you. Have a wonderful week ahead.